Today will also be hot, but there is a change in the air, and that change can be seen here. You see something coming up, and also here there are tiny little new plants. And this area here becomes lusher and lusher, so we drip. And it helps to keep the soil cooler. And as long as this fast-growing Paulownia tree manages to stay on top, which it does, everything is okay. This one here and the neighbor, who was in the first batch, by the way, they are still struggling, but that's because the soil is very hard and compacted, and therefore not much water can penetrate, and therefore can be stored. So it's a mix of challenges in the soil and lack of water. But as long as they break it up a little bit and achieve that, then everything will turn out well. Because it's not that the influx of water is lacking, there is the wobbler. And the area on the other side gets the same amount. But they will manage, I think. And there on the other side, you can see in the back how high they already are. And speaking about how high, I should go over to what is now becoming the vegetable garden and show you there how high the freshly planted trees are there. But there's also one that is lagging behind for the very same reason. But then over there the soil has been loose, exactly like there, where I used the excavator and not flatten it. I did not flatten it after lifting up chunks. And apparently that is a good thing. So I'm definitely leaning towards using the excavator there to loosen up the rows next year. Might not need it, might not be needed, because you can see how they manage. So there's no difference between some of those and these here. So I'm still a little bit on the edge. Might also be that installing drip irrigation before, and that maybe might help to give things a head start. Might be enough. Running the excavator in there is a challenge, because it's a backhoe, it's not an excavator on tracks. It is a lot harder to navigate, to move. And there are the other trees, so it might not be the best idea. But we'll see. I have to make up my mind over the next couple of months until I eventually can then plant these trees there. I'm trying to capture this for you. There's quite a bit of dew on all these leaves, and that is so important. That accounts for a lot of the moisture that all the plants need here in this Mediterranean climate. There's a swing between Nighttime air humidity of currently around 60-70% to daytime humidity in the air of just 20 or even below every day, and so swings the temperature. And it means if you have enough leaf surface, the Mediterranean forest can sustain itself. Also, it does not rain, at least for a couple of months until the rain comes back. And to keep it that open probably does not work out very well in the long run. In the shorter run, yeah, it seemed to have worked. But I'm not sure if this can go on for 1,000 years. The last couple centuries it did work out, but probably in the last century things got out of hand and it got too open and too much grazing pressure and several factors combining, which is why what the Spanish are so proud of, the Dehesa, is kind of dying. It's under the threat of desertification. That's an official statement that you can find on the government's website of the Ministry of Agriculture, or the Department of Agriculture. So it's an official thing. And it's supposed to be like that. So here at the end of this row, I set new trees, and then you can see them. And they are very tall. And I think they were from the first batch. And the soil here came from my excavation of the pond in a dog enclosure. So mostly mineral, nothing interesting in it. And then I irrigated and let the Paulownia species show up. And by the way, here where I am walking, this is all moist from the irrigation yesterday at dawn, to put it that way. And well, you can also see what they like to do. They don't care if there's a flower, they just want to go in there. Okay, but you can see the size. So this is 1.50 meters, I would say. And the leaves are really big. And that is why it can grow so fast. And the other one as well. Unfortunately, the last time I was in here with my machine to chop things, I damaged the third one right there. It might come back, or I might have killed it. And that, of course, should not happen. But this one was growing a lot slower than the other two, and therefore I did not see it. I don't have a map in my head where I put every little tree, and then the other stuff grows and overgrows it, and then that's what happens. Because I needed to clear this area and make biomass. But we will see. And there's something else coming up after the cutting. And in a while, I have to cut again until eventually these are like those. And you can see the size of the trunk. So this is now an actual tree. Let this go on for 2 or 3 times the number of years that they already had to grow, and they would be ready for harvest. And I think that is the model for the future, to work with these trees, but there are a few things that one has to do to really make this economically worthwhile. But I think it's a good idea. And they definitely help the soil. And the vetiver here at the edge, it is growing, but it is not growing as good, despite all the irrigation, as the much older vetiver here on the other side. And they have a conversation again. Yeah, look at this. This is vetiver as you would expect it. But I also think I have an issue with my drip irrigation in there. So it appears that the first part gets drip irrigated, and then somewhere further down something is blocked and there is not much happening because the water does not reach there. And I doubt very much that this wobbler is responsible for this. It is more that this is dripping there, and therefore the vetiver has enough moisture. And as you can see, I was very happy about this vetiver, and it certainly does work, but you need to take care of it. It's not that this is a tool you just planted and then it will somehow improve everything. It manages to exist even with challenges, but it is not as good a solution as these Paulownia trees. And speaking about Paulownia trees, there are a few, and yes, I should go up to the bigger swales and show you how that looks like there. But it's a little bit complicated to do this. But let's see. Here, there is a tree, and that tree does not get any irrigation. It's just there. Those are the survivors of a failed experiment. And they're still there. They're at the very end. Somewhere there. There is another one. If I move a little bit, you might be able to see it. Maybe I can even climb up here a little bit. So now you have a better view. They got damaged by the very same frost in early May, and therefore did not grow a lot. And of course there's no irrigation, so they have to work what is there. And apparently they find some water. So it is interesting. It's not a success, but it is good to see how they manage on their own. And that, what you see, is also the site where I want to dig a huge pond. So basically there where that line of now brown stuff is, that is the seasonal creek that continues there. The pond that we have is over there. And that's then going to be the extension. It will be a lot larger. So my hope is to be able to store some 500 cubic meters of water here. And that will then help with the other ideas. We are getting by, but the pond is very, 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 very low. So I can't suck out water from the pond every day. And currently the consumption is around 10,000 liters a day. So 10 cubic meters. And you can figure out easily how much I can do with that. And what we wanted to irrigate initially, well, that was way beyond our capacity. It's a good idea that I have reduced to the essentials. The essentials are doing good, as you see, but I need definitely more water to do more things. it appears that we might get lucky. It was very hot. I saw 44 degrees, and of course that creates all this. It might go boom and give us some rain. And I have a feeling that when we turn into September, we will have rain. So more than once we got rain on the 1st of September. But it does feel like there's a little bit of squall from these clouds around. And of course it has a moist feeling to it.